Hello, citizens. A little bit of an update here. This was recorded on the 17th, so just before Citizencon. This is me playing a little bit of salvage, so if you want to see some salvage and see me work on salvage, as well as talk about my thoughts on what I thought Citizencon would be like. Turns out I was actually pretty accurate on a lot of my predictions about what they were going to talk about, what was going to be shown. Wrong on a couple things. And so that's what mainly this video is. So when you watch this video, you're going to see me taking a lot of guesses about what Citizencon will be. You by now know those. Ooh, I just saw the inside of my teeth for a minute. Why am I in a hospital bed? Am I? No, I'm in Lorville, but why is my... Anyways, oop, there we go. This is running super smooth. Needless to say, just after Citizencon, I'm finally getting around to edit this video, and at the same time, it says degraded server performance. So, is there someone standing in my room? This is creepy. This is very VAR-like. Yeah, degraded servers performance. What that means is, you know, things aren't going so well, and I'm having some issues just playing the game. So, more than likely, I'm not going to actually be playing much right now, as much as I'm going to try my best to get this video out for you, and hopefully you'll have this sometime by the end of today. It's just after work. I just got off work now. It is Tuesday, and so hopefully I'll get it out tonight or tomorrow. So enjoy the video. Good morning, citizens, and welcome back to the verse. We're just leaving our hangar right now in Lorville. We're going to go over to New Deal. We've been working pretty hard behind the scenes. I've been earning some money, and I've got a lot of money, and I plan on buying a new ship. I got a plan with it. Also, I'm expecting that potentially there might be a loss of money, but you can see here I got 2.7 just over million. Could get ourselves a cool racing ship like that, but I'm looking at something a little bit different. Potentially this beautiful ship right here, although I think I'm still a little short, so we're going to take a look at that. I want to get myself an industrial ship. The reason why is because the patch is happening soon. I don't know if we're going to end up losing our ship. Where is Prospector? Oh, we are a little short. We're about 200,000 short. So the other backup is we're going to look at the Vulture, and there we go. Vulture 2.6. We can afford a Vulture. So instead of trying to earn that little bit extra, because I know this new patch is coming out imminent, I'm thinking it's going to be happening with Citizencon, which is starting in a couple days. It is Thursday evening right now, and with that change and patch, who knows what's going to happen. Maybe we'll lose money. Maybe we'll lose ships. Either way, I think I'm going to get myself a ship. So we're going to look at the Vulture here. That'll be the ship that I'm going to go with. We're going to get that. My plan is to do a little bit of salvage, make some money this way, and maybe this is a bit better even than using the Prospector. I don't have to upgrade it. I don't have to get things like the different mining heads and modules. I don't have to do any refining, which, again, I won't do any refining around this time, because if you lose the refining jobs during a patch, you lose out on that money. So we're gonna use the Vulture. We're gonna earn some money now. There is a new patch coming out, 3.24.2, I believe, is the patch coming out, and that's going to change a lot of the game, including the MFDs and things like that. So we're going to worry about that. What are you doing? Just standing there. I realize it might be the wrong hangar, so I'm going to quickly just call this ship here just to make sure it's loaded, and then we can get into our hangar, because we were... Oh, it is small. Okay. Because I landed in a small hangar, I wasn't sure if the Vulture needed medium. I could not remember. So we're gonna check out the Vulture. We're gonna go do some vulturing, some salvage, some vulturing. New term right there. At the same time, I got a lot of notes in front of me because Citizencon starts in 2 days. I just kind of wanted to go over my predictions about what Citizencon is going to be like. Last year, I was actually pretty impressed. It was pretty awesome. This year, they say it's bigger than ever. They say that every year. But I'm looking at the daily designs of what they're going to be talking about, what they're going to be doing. So while I play, I'm just going to be going through my notes and just talking about what I think is going to happen as far as Citizencon, as far as what we're going to see on the different days, what I think they're going to talk about, and what I think is probably going to be missed. Then I'm going to watch Citizencon when I get back. So I'm leaving tomorrow. That's why I'm doing this on Thursday. I'm going to be north. Now, I'm already kind of north in Canada, but I'm going to be even more north in Canada, outside of cell service, as usual, when I leave. Outside of, you know, most trappings of civilization. And I won't be back until Sunday, and so I will start watching live streams after that. So I'm going to be a bit behind on everything else. So while we head into space here, I'm just going to open up my notes and kind of look. I'm going to kind of go through each day from the schedule of Citizencon, and while we're doing that, I'll talk about what I think these things are going to be about, and then we'll see. After that, we'll just kind of continue on doing a little bit of whatever it's called, a little bit of salvage, a little bit of money making. So that's our plan. So first thing we're going to talk about is day one, Brave New World, and it's all about the world creation, the new tools that are going to be in part of what's it called? What's their engine called? I can't remember. I'm not looking at the actual. What job should we take here? I mean, we've got to take a starter job, but we can look at the time. So this one's at CRUL1. This one's at HURL2. HURL2 is definitely the closest because I am in Hurston, so that's going to be Faithful Dream. We're going to go there, get that job. Star Engine. I don't know. I forgot the name. Star Engine. So my guess with this is just going to be talk about how they generate a planet. So maybe they'll talk about how they decide what kind of plants will be on there and generating that way. But they're going to talk about basically, I'm assuming, procedural tech to make the planet kind of seem more organic. Last year they were showcasing how they do rivers. Maybe they're going to kind of expand on that. That would be pretty awesome. If you could just kind of go, here's a mountain range, and here is a planet, and this is their average rainfall, or what kind of, you know, temperate zone they're going to be in. And if it could generate where it thinks lakes and stuff would be, I think that would be pretty awesome. Very procedural, could be more organic by giving it rules, and then you can go in and tweak it as an artist and kind of fix it up. That'd be kind of cool. Hopefully they talk about being able to make things like microtech forests a little more foresty. Right now, they look cool from a distance as you're flying in, but they tend to be one type of tree kind of spread out. I would love it to be more dense, but I don't know if that's possible, because I don't know if, especially when you're sharing this information amongst many players across servers. But that'd be kind of cool. They talked about cloud tech last year, and a little bit about water, and like the water reaction between ships flying over. So maybe they're going to talk more about that, and caves, and maybe asteroids. That'd be kind of cool. Not really world building tech, but the asteroids, that'd be kind of cool too. Maybe roads. Let's hope to talk about roads, making roads on there, because ground vehicles kind of are, it's kind of weird. Ground vehicles, lots of them exist, but no real use for them. I would love ground vehicles in a place like ArcCorp, making roads between the buildings you could drive around. That'd be really cool. Next thing after that is, sorry, a little cough there. Next thing after that is the social universe. So it says everything from one-on-one to large gatherings. How far are we? Well, not too bad. So it's going to be talking about interplay between different players. Maybe talking about NPCs and kind of filling out the land. So when you go somewhere, I mean, it's been said for a long time that ideally you shouldn't be able to tell easily in a city the difference between an NPC and a real player. That's never going to be the case unless the NPCs start running around full tilt everywhere. But that'd be kind of cool. It also might just talk about how making more gamey gameplay. Know what I mean? Because interactions tend to be combat focused, and I'm finding maybe there's going to be like faster looting, quicker ways to get into a fight, aim assist, all that thing, because focus on combat seems to be the main development point. Combat games are popular. I can understand that. Besides, industries on day 2, so anything non-combat might be tied to that day. Also, even something that's non-combat, if they talk about it, they're going to be talking about it in some way being tied to combat. You know, racing, let's give our ships guns. Mining ships, let's give them guns. Doing something like cargo, you're going to be attacked by pirates. There's always going to be combat tied to non-combat. That seems to be the direction. I'd like to see more about how to find people to play with. Maybe a better rep system for different players. So if you're wanting to play with someone, but that person tends to, you can look at their history and go, they've served, you know, 72 times in Klesher in the last month. Maybe that's not the person I want to go do something with because they are focused more on things that end up going into jail. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of interesting. After that, we're going to have the cosplay competition. Cosplay competition is going to be kind of cool to see what people have been working on. The fun fact for me is with Virtual Citizen, which happened twice during the pandemic, I was able to enter the... Where is that ship? Hasn't really shown up yet. You think it'd be easy to see with the darker, greener background in the space. Anyways, the Virtual Citizen, people at home could enter contests for things like the cosplay contest, and I actually did for both years. First year I entered, I made a Neville Lot mask, and then the second year I did like a Star Kitten helmet. Both years I didn't win, but both years I got I can't remember what it was called, like Developer's Choice or something like that. One year I got a Rock DS, that was awesome. Oh, sorry, one year I got a Rock, that was awesome. Second year I got a Rock DS. Awesome for a totally different way, because now I own a Rock DS that I would never have bought with real money. Pretty fun though. The Rock has come in really handy, and I kind of love that I won that. So it's kind of a little point of pride for me that I managed to get at least those two kind of consolation prizes, which I thought was really cool. Make sure I got my helmet on. That's always the first thing. Why am I standing like that? Let's go. We're going to start. Now, this is just an arrow. This is just a starter job. So I'm not going to be getting components. I don't think I can get components off an arrow. But it doesn't have cargo, but it does have guns. And the guns are worth money. So I'm going to go strip those off first while it's still here. And then once we're done with that, we can sell those guns and then take off the outside. Next thing after this, what is it? It's Dress to Kill. I'm assuming clothing. It's going to be all about the different fashions in clothing. I would like fashion to be more of a thing in the verse for people. Not just like, you know, something to individually represent yourself, but I would like it if you're dressed nicer. You might get better treatment from certain NPCs. If you're dressed more like, you know, one of the guy... Ooh. Move my multi-tool before I turn it off. Let's say if you're in Pyro near one of the gangs and you're wearing the clothing from someone you killed, maybe initially they're not going to give you as a hard a time as they might. They might not become aggressive as soon, but then if they suddenly notice that you are not one of them, maybe then they will actually be more aggressive, wondering where you got that. Ooh. This is when they changed that you can like move ships with the handheld tractor. I would like it if the multi-tool didn't have enough power to move a ship, so that you couldn't make that mistake. Or even in your own ship when I've accidentally started myself spinning because I've hit the wall with it while I'm standing inside. Still, I managed to stop it. Somehow it's not drifting away. That's pretty good. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so how NPCs react to you based on what you're wearing would be pretty awesome. It'd make it kind of more fun to try to be stealthy, or at the same time try maybe at a shop to get a better price. I think maybe in a place like the TDDs, and I've put this in Spectrum before, maybe don't wear a helmet while you're selling stuff in stores or banks, because they won't do any banking with you if they can't see your face, which is how it works, at least here in Canada. I can't wear a motorcycle helmet into a bank. It was really weird the first time I wore a mask during the pandemic in the bank because normally that would be a big no-no, but it became, the thing to do. Um, yeah. Also on that, there has been a lot of talk on Spectrum, and this has been kind of talked about before. Flight restrictions wearing armor. So maybe they'll talk about that. Maybe they'll talk about actual character design, different body types potentially, not just having basic male, female body type, but like sizes and shapes. That would be a lot harder to do because how are you then going to get armor that fits those sizes and shapes? So I don't see it happening, but that'd be kind of cool. Possibly to talk more about the actual character creation. All right, this is. I will say they've definitely slowed down how much stuff you're getting from the scrapers, which I actually am kind of fine with. I kind of like the slowing of the game, and I'll talk more about that later. After this, the next thing that we know about is Beyond Pyro. Beyond Pyro. So, I mean, they could talk about the Odin system, but unless there's an imminent release of Squadron 42, I don't see that happening. Probably it's going to be something that I have been missing, which is Levski and Delmar. Maybe that's going to be like the main focus. It was in the game at one point. That was one of the coolest places to visit. The whole idea of you come around the top of this small moon, large asteroid, whatever you want to think about it, and you just see that crater that you come down into and like get down into the bottom. I thought that was really cool. That's where Teach's was, which in my opinion was probably one of the best ship areas. It's kind of like a cross between New Deal meets Cousin Crows. It was great. I loved it there. Maybe they'll talk about after Pyro, what they're going to focus on again. Death as a Spaceman, still a thing? It's not a thing? Theaters of War? Who knows? Bringing aliens in the game? That would be pretty awesome. Different game loops. Refining, data running, working on all the backlogs of the ships. There is something that's been talked about in... Oh, 1 second. Coughing again. This is pretty quick. Getting these whatever they're called, arrows. They're a pretty good thing to salvage. Soul Singer. There's been a lot of talk about Soul Singer on Spectrum. What is it? What's it going to be? I think potentially it's NPC tech. It's going to be something that's going to be used to work towards NPCs. If you remember, we had the Imperator vote a while back. What are we going to focus on? And most people focused on something that was talked about AI, which in the voters' mind meant we're going to get more into like working on the AI of the game, which has also been worked on. If you look at any of the updates for Squadron 42, getting the players, the NPC characters, to be doing things like getting some food, sitting down and eating, walking around, just making the place feel more alive. But maybe with Soul Singer, that's also going to be working on the ability to have NPC crews. Yeah, this is working okay. Ooh, I kind of like that they brought back the on-screen. Why is this showing me it still has stuff to salvage? But I can't. There we go. Oh, there is again. Why did that come back? Weird. We did have like we would like the idea of getting like blades in there. So maybe Soul Singer's part of that. Maybe Soul Singer's just a new type of ship or a creature. Who knows? Maybe they'll talk about Maelstrom. Last year they talked about the tech showing the water tech where like waves would come off the engines or when you flew over, or the destruction of shooting buildings, having things fall down. Maybe more of that. Maybe more of the tech behind, being able to like shoot a building down to get at the people inside. That'd be kind of cool. Then the last thing for day one is going to be Redacted, which is most likely, and I will be super surprised if it's not Squadron 42. Release date? Maybe not. Probably not. Probably not going to give us a release date. Maybe they'll give us a release time frame, but I'd be willing to bet anything that they're not going to say, purchase it now for this Christmas. Maybe next Christmas. Maybe. But yeah, maybe they're going to make an announcement that it's going to be coming out on PC and consoles. Who knows? Definitely, if it's Squadron 42, it's going to be gameplay footage. They're going to showcase some new tech that's going to be in the game. Maybe give us a total play time or how many missions there's going to be in the finished game. Redacted is going to be about Squadron 42. That's my guess. I don't see why it's not going to be. Ooh, this is perfect. So, as you'll notice, I wasn't really talking about what I was doing while I'm doing it. I'm kind of just talking about other stuff. Scanning real quick, I had a multiple of 2,000 on the RF signature, which is in the top right. That is panels. But panels are kind of weird that as you get closer, you can't find them. Like right now, I'm trying to ping and not find them. They're there. They're just hard to find. Actually, I might have kind of messed this up. I might have to like back up and try again. But we're going to keep looking for them. But we're looking for the panels. Where are they? They're here somewhere. I hope they fix this. I hope they fix panels that when you get closer, like an asteroid, like when you're doing mining, they would show up. It's really more annoying too when you find panels, but then you're not close enough to all of them and you can't find all the ones that you originally found because you have to be in like 150 meters of them. If I can't find them, I'm just going to back up. Get enough distance that maybe they'll peek out again, and then go forwards. Okay, so that's kind of day one. My predictions is that there's also going to be new ships, most likely kind of revealed on day one. I'd like to see a new small starter ship, but I think they're going to have something big here. I know there's a new MISC ship coming out. The new MISC ship is just been kind of teased by different parts of like the tail fins and stuff. I'm wondering if it's going to be an Expanse. I would really love it if that was the case. But if it was, that would be a day two thing because it's more industry. I also assume because if you had bought the Star Citizen, whatever it's called, the goodies pack. Come on, where's... Really don't want to have missed it. I found those panels right away in like half a second, and now where are they? Sorry, the Citizen Goodie Pack. There is like the redacted items. So there we go. Ooh, there we go. I found them. At least 3. That's good. They'll probably show people working on them. So it's going to be the Citizencon trophy and 2 items. 2 items. They're going to be decorations. I don't know what they're going to be. Maybe they'd be something like a helmet, but I really doubt it. It's not going to be something that you can wear. It's just going to be something you can place down and put somewhere. Maybe it's a piece of furniture. Maybe it's, you know, pillows for your bed if you already got the bed. I also don't know what's in the black box. So, I don't know. If anyone has a Citizencon goodies pack, let me know. If anyone has one they don't want, I'd gladly take one. But, yeah, we'll see. Day 2 is going to be more kind of the stuff that I'm interested in. That's going to be things like crafting your home. That's the first thing they're talking about. I'm guessing it's going to be shots of some different base options, a way to kind of decorate your house and move furniture around. Because right now, if you buy a table, it's got to come up in a freight elevator. Well, how that's going to work if you're putting it into a small room or a house. They're going to talk probably about land claims and costs for owning a house, ways to color your house or paint your house or decorate your house to make it more unique. That'd be kind of cool. Hopefully they talk about what happens if you're robbed or destroyed, like what's going to stop someone from coming to your house and just taking everything while you're not there. Hopefully they're going to talk about halves, so when you choose your starting location, you get your own house. If you get your own house, is it in the city? If you're on ArcCorp, could you have one that's further away with like a small landing pad that you get to? So instead of going to Rikers, you'd go there for your big ships, but maybe like a small rooftop pad that you could call your ship when you're at your host. Or maybe taxis to get from there to Rikers, kind of like the flying cabs in Orson. I'm assuming all that crafting, be talking about the Pioneer at the same time. But that's also going to go into the next presentation, which is Captains of Industry. That's all about base building. So 100%, that's when we're going to talk about something like the Pioneer. Or other options. Maybe there's going to be other options besides just using a Pioneer. I see when they talk about Pioneer, they're definitely going to have the removal of the arm that was on the Pioneer. The reason why is because think of the arm on the Reclaimer, how that didn't really work. So maybe it's going to be more like a video of like the Banner Merchantman where like, hey, this is what we have, this is what we worked on, and now we've stopped. But I don't think so. I think they're actually probably working on the Pioneer. Maybe they'll talk about other industrial ships, like refining ships, like the Expanse. This might be where that new Mist ship comes in play, or something like the Orion, or the Rasta, which also I believe has refining on it. Maybe they're going to talk about a move of high-value items from safe areas to more dangerous areas like Pyro. So maybe maybe Pyro's no longer the barren wasteland that it was. Now it's actually a place where you go for expensive stuff. So you can either mine low-value stuff as an industrialist, relatively safe but low profit, or you can put a little more risk in somewhere more dangerous and get some more higher profit. This is a lot of information and things that have been mentioned in the past couple of months about how higher value items are going to have more danger. Even stuff like the contested zones. So if you want to get good ship components, you're going to have to go somewhere else and get them. I think this is probably where they're going to talk more about also how mining and materials are going to tie in more with base building. So no longer are you going to be taking stuff, refining it, bringing it, selling at a city. Maybe now you're going to be, if people are building more ships, they're going to need more copper, and copper's going to go up in price, and you're going to have to bring copper to the location where ships are being built. It's going to kind of turn this, instead of selling from one city, into like a closed loop. I assume that's what we're going to talk about, Captains of Industry. After that, a massive topic to talk about, which is To the Stars, My Destination, Star Citizen 1.0. It's going to talk about, I think in this one, the PvP, PvE, etc. What kind of game is this? It's going to do two things. That's going to finally concisely explain to people what kind of game Star Citizen is and what they're aiming for, and also say things that everyone's going to twist into what they say CIG says, and whether or not it is a PvE game, PvP game, or what CIG really wants it to be. It's not going to really solve any of the arguments on Spectrum. It's going to just definitely add a lot of fuel to that fire, but I think it'll be kind of an interesting thing to talk about. Talking about maybe NPCs and blades. This would be the place to talk about that. This goes back to that vote that we had about the Imperator a few years ago. They're going to probably move up the date of 1.0. So if we look at the Kickstarter, it's no longer the same game that we kickstarted for. There has been so much changes. And with 4.0 soon, and server meshing working, and Pyro working, and the mention in this of 1.0, I can see this being a huge jump into the talk about 1.0 being closer than ever. To be clear, this isn't going to be quick. This is still going to take a while, but the 10 years out I keep seeing is not going to be the case. Like, it says I still have... Yeah. Like, it says I got a lot more material on this, but I can't see it anywhere. This is kind of like... I think I would like more upgraded things. Because if you look here how much I have versus this, looks pretty well scraped. Like, I would like a larger disc. I could switch over to some, like, bigger scrapers and really just kind of go over it and get that last little bit. That'd be pretty cool, but not bad. We're getting some panels. Panels are still a good way to get some stuff. What was I talking about? Yeah, I could see that this is going to be a huge change with what people think 1.0 will be. So we have like the Montreal studio focused on building new worlds. They're getting those out faster and faster. Server meshing, jump gates, Pyro. I'm assuming Pyro and jump gates, they're going to aim for sometime by the end of the year, hopefully, as long as the Evo tests are going well on those, and that's going to work. Server meshing, I definitely see them getting out, but hopefully Pyro is going to be out by the end of the year as well. They want to get all that out by 1.0, and I'm going to guess within the next few years they're really going to focus on getting 1.0 out. But with that, there's going to be changes to the original plan for sure. This game has creeped well beyond the scope of what was originally designed, and so I see the stuff that has been promised on the Kickstarter, I don't see that making it into 1.0 or potentially making it into the game ever itself. So I made a list of stuff from the Kickstarter, and just going through this list really quickly, I'm I mean, in the Kickstarter, there was already the town halls, the weekly, you know, updates and meetings. We still have Inside Star Citizen. We still have, like, the different talks that Jared Huckabee puts on. But this was, like, a chat with Chris Roberts every week. That's been gone forever. Single player mode, unless you're talking specifically Squadron 42. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Same with, like, the moddable multiplayer servers that you could host. I don't think that's even going to be discussed in 1.0. It did say in the Kickstarter that this is not a pay-to-win. That's going to be harder to control, and I don't think they're really going to discuss. I mean, if I purchase for thousands of dollars a massive capital ship, and I go right at the beginning and start attacking everyone who has a starter ship, I have definitely paid to win. But it's not pay-to-win necessarily the same as, like, buying things that are unable to ever be gathered by other people. The only examples of stuff like that are things like things that are no longer sold that are more decorative. They did say that things like the Mark I Hornet are going to be able to be made, or not made, but purchased in the future, or somehow acquired in the future. So even stuff like that, and admittedly the Mark II, we're doing okay with panels here. Little tiny panels. I wish they were bigger ones, but that's all right. Yeah, constantly expanding. Yeah, that's for sure. They're just going to keep adding stuff every week. But they did say weekly or bi-weekly updates. That's not going to happen. We've seen even the talk last year that we're going to have quarterly updates isn't really happening. Squadron 42 offline play. Yeah, it's single player. Also tied to co-op in the verse or multiplayer. I don't know about that. Modding and new player design ships being allowed in the verse. Maybe? But I don't know. Probably not. Lore and history added. So adding more story into the game. I can see them happening that. I don't know if that'll make it a 1.0, but that'd be kind of cool. VR is not even going to be mentioned. As much as that's something I am so excited with. And I really, ever since the day I first walked out on Port Olisar, I just imagined how awesome that would be in VR. Still super disappointing. That's the biggest gripe I have with no VR in the game in Destruction Port Olisar, is that I'll never get to walk out onto those stages and look at a Crusader. It would have been amazing. VR's not even been mentioned. They're not going to talk about that. It's something that I would love in the game, but it's just so far away, and so few people are really pushing for it. Each player gets a robot repair bot. Where drones exist in the game? Are drones ever going to be used, or is it just going to be beams? Who knows? Aliens. 1.0 is definitely going to have aliens. I don't see how you can have the game without having those somehow in there. The original thing was 40 systems, then 50, then 60, all the way up to 100. That's not happening. 1.0 is not going to have 100 systems. No way. I guess back to the original 40. That's how it's going to be. I don't see how they could get more than that, but that'll be like the focus to get in the game. You need a bunch of systems, but it'll be decades of adding more systems before we ever get even near what was promised in the Kickstarter. But how the planets are used and how they exist is totally different than when the game was first conceived. Pets, hopefully we're going to have pets well before then. And physical rewards. I mean, people got their cards. My card's long gone. I don't know where it is. But things like the USB, the CD, where we're going to go to... we have our stuff now. We're going to go back to potentially drop it off. But we got more room. So let's look at what else we have here. We've got... this one's at L3. That's Thundering, whatever. I don't know where that is. I do have a printed out map of the system somewhere. I kind of suggest doing that. Use the printed map, and like print one out, and that way you know where you are. And you can kind of figure out where you're going and find some different areas. So looking around here, like the names no longer easily show up on here, or like a group. Like I always do salvage in these specific areas, and that way you keep yourself kind of close. You can kind of salvage all in one area. If you're doing illegal salvage, usually it's around Hurston or around Crusader area. Those tend to be the two areas for illegal salvage. But that way you're not spending a lot of time traveling and a lot of fuel on flying around and wasting that fuel. And you can just spend more time filling up your hold and going somewhere. What else we got here? Prospector. If you could, take the prospector bags and refine them, that would be good. I like the cutter. And here's why I like the cutter. Small. I know I have enough space to put that all into my ship. At the same time, you can take the components easily out of a cutter. You can take the weapons off the cutter. So we're gonna get this cutter, and then that will be pretty good. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of jump here, so you don't need to see me travel. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a jump. We're gonna jump ahead, and we're gonna go salvage this cutter as well. Okay, so we're now at our next salvage claim. This is the cutter. We're going to head up to that one, and while we're doing that, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about physical rewards. Yeah, so those are a long way off. They had the USB drives made. I mean, what's going to be on them now? Some people were getting books. Some people were getting boxes with art in them. The only thing I see potentially coming out anytime soon is with the release of Squadron 42, will you get the Squadron 42 physical manual that was promised to some people? Will that happen? I don't know. We'll have to see. So that's coming out. With that, with the talk about Squadron 42, maybe they'll talk about how you use Squadron 42 to earn citizenship in the game. Because from what I understand, you have to serve time in the UE Navy before you actually become a citizen, which allows things like ownership of property, maybe. I'm not really sure the big difference. Maybe we'll talk about that. So we have that, and then we have some predictions. Definitely, there's going to be some jokes to controversies. They'll make light of some things, or at least try to. So maybe they'll talk about Sniper Glint, or Master Modes, or the Sandworm that was, shown and then forgotten about. Who knows? Maybe they'll talk about getting things in the game that I know they're working on. There's the crossbow that was tied into another game, I think. I would love it if they gave an update on paints that I've had forever. The Jolly Roger and the almost said Electro Boom. That's a YouTube channel. It was one for RSI that allowed you to kind of change up. Ooh, I will admit, it's easy to see the ship under that background, but that's kind of a nebula, so we're going to go with that one. I would love it if they talked about more instance areas. So not only instance hangars, but instance habs. So you could have a hab that was yours. Or with server meshing and thousands of people, the game's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much better because there's going to be more interaction with people at certain areas. Go to a cargo center, and there'll be a bunch of people there. Go to a city, it's going to be a bunch of people there. But I've played other MMOs. I've been recently playing, I want to say Skyrim Online, but it's not Skyrim Online. Elder Scrolls Online. And it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying when you're trying to do something and there's someone else just running full tilt around. And it's not such a big deal there because you're stable to do what you're doing and they can do what they're doing. That's fine. But a game like Star Citizen, what if I'm trying to be stealthy and sneak by someone and not alert anyone that they're around, and someone starts running through just guns blazing, and all of a sudden that's happening? And with 1,000 people, especially with only Pyro and Stanton right now, if we get up to like 40 planets, that's going to be a lot better. But it's going to be harder to kind of do your own thing. So what if there were areas where specific events and specific missions were instanced? I think that would be kind of cool. So hopefully they talk about that. I would like if they talked about VR, like I said, but they're not going to mention that. I can almost guarantee, because I'm going to be watching the live streams on either Twitch or on YouTube, definitely I'm not going to be reading the chat, because it's just going to be a bunch of people either begging for stuff, a lot of give this, give that, or negativity or demanding of, it's been 10 years, this is a waste. Lots of negative chat. I can guarantee, that's my prediction, that it's going to be more negative or annoying comments than it's going to be people kind of being excited. Unless they show something cool, then it's going to be a bunch of clapping hands emojis. But that's how it is on any live stream. They're going to talk hopefully more. I would love it if they talked more about like different, what people call time sinks for some, slowing down the game, which is what I like. Longer claim times, base building should be really slow. Earning, even stuff like what I'm doing now, if I just scrape ships, the scraping's slow and the earning is low. I kind of like that. I kind of like that that it takes longer. I think in the long run, if you really want something, you want, to earn enough money to buy a ship, you're going to have to work for it. It shouldn't be something that you can grind out really quick. When it's no longer going to be an issue that with the next wipe you're going to lose it. Right now, I think the speed is perfectly fine because you can get wipes whenever. If people are having too many things, too big of ships, because it's too easy, I can understand why. I should have parked this so that I could throw it from one ship to the other, but this works. This is why I like the cutters. I mean, honestly, the money you make from a cutter isn't from scraping. It's from the weapons and these components. These are about 1,000 each. The weapons, I think, are about 600 each. It's good money, and it's fun. I actually like this, and this is what I'm talking about, slowing down the game. Spending my time kind of going through, pulling out the good components before I salvage stuff. I think this is the way to go, at least for people who, like me, aren't interested in just shooting things and grinding out bounties and fighting. To do stuff that maybe, although here I am with my fists up instead of, I would like it, first of all, also this. Like, I can't access this. Oh, just open that in general. Instead of being able to, like, just do this, I would like it if ships had different things in them. Like, maybe I'll find a Pico Ball or a suit of armor inside the ship as well. I'd like it if there was more stuff, decorative items that I could take out. Maybe sometimes there's a bobblehead on the dash that I find, and I'd be able to take one of those. That'd be pretty cool. Add that in the game. I'd like it if they talked about fishing, maybe crafting. Now, like, crafting shouldn't be a massive thing this game, but being able to craft food out of the stuff that I find, the animals, the plants, fuses, basic supplies, like how this vulture can make a multi-tool, awesome. I don't think it needs to be able to make the big tractor beam tool, but just something basic that could allow you to operate the ship. Same with even the reclaimer. You don't need to be able to make the big one. I know you can output the bigger boxes, but if you don't have a multi-tool, then you make the small boxes, and you have to do it that way until you go buy your multi-tool. I think that'd be good. I would love it if they actually worked on some stuff on this game that is, in my opinion, would be awesome and would actually work well with the social aspects of the game, which is things like the arcade machines with, like, leaderboards for the scores, or pool tables. The pool table in the hab in Lorville or in some of the ships, get them working so that people could actually use them. I think that would be amazing. Give really good bonuses to some of the different foods, whether they're being made by you or someone else, so that people would actually want those bonuses. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so this, I have plenty of room. I can fit this whole ship in here. This is going to be no problem. I'm just going to do that. I'd like them, these are kind of my last real predictions. I would like them to talk about the backlog of ships. The Banu Merchantman, the Orion. They're probably not going to talk about. Maybe they'll talk about the Orion. They won't talk about the Banu, because as far as I know, that's zero work's been done on that. The Pioneer, probably going to talk about that. Crucible, the Endeavor. I really hope they talk about that. I don't own an Endeavor, but I'm so excited about that, because that ship has a particle accelerator that you could then use to, improve your ship. So that was one way that you're able to get a ship better, is by, like, actually working on providing materials to make souped up version of your components. Maybe then you got to bring that material to Cousin Crow's and they're going to fix it up for you. Hopefully that's kind of the case. The Starliner, but that depends on if they actually talk about NPCs and how well they're coming along. The larger hull ships, they're not really going to talk about those, I don't think, because the hull ships are just, they're developing bigger hull ships for the D and the E, something like that. Maybe the Kraken, I'm sure they'll at least show it briefly to get people excited. I don't know if they'll talk about it, but they really should. Ground vehicles like the Rangers, like the motorcycles, hopefully they talk about those, as well as the road system, like I said, talk about planet tech, so that you can get from one place to another a bit bigger. Legionnaire, maybe they'll talk about that, but that might depend on, what they're doing with Squadron 42 and boarding action, stuff like that. Ironclad, I'd love to see an update on that. I'd also love to see an update on modularity, with things like the Caterpillar, being able to take that command module off, being able to add modules to your Caterpillar. Hopefully they would talk about some of that, but that's probably not the focus of this Star Citizen. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I've kind of covered what I think my predictions. So I would like to say, what do you think? Do you think I've got any of these right? But you already know, because by the time I edit this video, it's going to be probably Monday that I'm editing this video. It's going to be a while before it gets out there. And so by then, I will know the answers to if I got any of these right. Maybe I'm way off base. Is this going to be the best Star Citizen ever? My plan is, once it's out, once Star Citizen's out, I'm going to kind of go over the different presentations and other videos with my predictions and see if I was even close to guessing what they're going to talk about. Was it predictable, or was it a surprise to me? So I'm going to keep salvaging the ship. You can see I'm about half done here. I'm going to skip ahead again. We're going to go land. I like to sell salvage at Area 18. It's not the easiest place to land at unless you know where the spaceport is, but it's the best place to sell at because the components and the weapons I can sell at Dumper's Depot, and then the RMC and the construction materials I sell at the admin and the TDD. All of those are right near the Habs and a short walk from each other. It is the best place to sell salvage. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to kind of jump ahead, and then from there we're going to sell our goods and see what kind of money we made. All right, we are approaching our corp. I just hear the engines kind of wind down a bit. You can see it starting to appear in the background there. I love this game. I know I keep saying it. I know I talk about it. Still to this day, growing up with games with loading screens or having to switch discs back and forth, the fact that we've come this far from my Tandy days, or even earlier, like Commodore PET, this is kind of crazy. I love this. We're in the atmosphere here, the planet now, and ooh, it looks like, oh no, it's probably on the dark side. We're probably not in the daylight. This is the one drawback of selling at ArcCorp, is that Star Citizen has two things going for it that I think are planned and programmed into the game. One is designing trams so that the train pulls out of the station as you run up to it. And the second is designing it so when you go to a planetary location and you go to land and you go to do something, it's always nighttime. I think that's their plan. Keep it dark, keep everything kind of leaving just as you arrive. Because every time I come to a planet or a point of interest, especially, and I'll tell you, this makes it hard for me making movies, making videos for YouTube, is it's always nighttime. Especially when I was doing one for how, like, I'm going to go, here's how you get to Paradise Cove, which I love. That's a place I love to go and loot at. And it's nighttime. Now, at least they added this pillar of green. I don't know if it was needed at Lorville. I think they added one at Lorville, didn't they? But I don't think it's needed there. But here, it was definitely needed. Because sometimes there's cloud cover and you can't see it. Right now, it's very easy to see the space station. I don't need to worry about it at all. But kind of ridiculous. So what I'm going to do here is, this is another reason why I like going to Area 18 and selling here, is once I land, I'm going to unload my Vulture into the cargo elevator. Because selling right now from your ship doesn't seem to be working really at all. Maybe it is for some ships, but not for me. Once I do that, I could take the train to the city and sell. But if I log out and log back in, then I'm at my hab. Then I just got to walk over to Dumper's Depot, walk over to admin, walk over to TDD, and then I can sell. Pretty easy to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. But right now, we're just going to fly in. There has been sometimes a delay from requesting a hangar and it showing up, but we're going to keep, once we get close, there we go. It's one of the side ones. I like that. I kind of wish there was more entrances like this. I like this because you just aim at it and you fly in. You don't have to drop down. Maybe they should make some that you go in from the bottom for the Sulian. That'd be kind of fun. Speaking of which, there is still the opportunity to win a Sulian with the pumpkin carving contest. That'd be the only way I'd have a Sulian. I love it as a cool looking little ship, but as a functional ship, both in landing and takeoff and cargo hauling, not great. As far as piloting, I kind of find it kind of cool. So I'm just going to kind of aim a little bit towards the, get my back of my ship towards the cargo elevator, which is, ooh, in the wrong corner. I'm in the wrong area here. And that way, unloading will be a little bit faster, a little bit easier. So that should be pretty good, I think. So we're going to get out. Always remember to turn off your engines. Now, there is 2 ways out of the ship. You go out the back, or you can go out the side. I'm going to have a little bit of a drink here. There we go. That seemed to work. Happy about that. Notice I'm at 33% hydration, so... This ship also, right up where I'm standing here, that's where the components are. You can salvage those as well. They're just a little bit harder to get in and out of the ship. When you're physically changing your components, I can see it kind of being annoying to try to get components up that staircase, but... Here we are, ready to unload. So we're just going to take all the things off our ship. Where should I put this? There's no garbage in here. There it is. Perfect. I mean, it's not... This is temporary hangar. It's not mine. So I got my multi-tool. If I didn't have one, I could make one here. Let's just start getting these guns out. And I'm going to load them into the cargo elevator. You don't need to see me do this. It's already been a long enough video. It's about an hour long. So I'm just going to jump ahead to when these are all unloaded. Alright, come on, box. On the elevator. So, I could have parked a little bit closer, but this is still working fine. Oh. Okay, that one I say that, then I drop a box in the back. Come on. Ooh, but it's stacked. We're good. Okay, it didn't roll off the back. It just locked to that last place. That was the last one. We're good. We got all our guns. We got all our components. And now we're going to drop down all of our good here. You can see we have both the construction and recycled material. And we're good. So... Once that's all stored, we can then log out, and then we're going to log back into the server, and or not the server, but into the game. Doesn't matter. You can even switch locations. Once that's done, it doesn't matter anymore because everything's stored into the local inventory, so you're able to then get your goods. I stored my ship because sometimes there's been an issue where I have to claim the ship, so. Storing it would be good. So we're going to go to menu. And then from menu, we're just going to choose to log back in. So Precision Universe. And... What's going on? Hold on a second. So, that was a patch. Yeah, so the reason why I couldn't log in after I had logged out was because the patch dropped. The patch for 3.23.2 is out. Unfortunately, that makes me... Ooh. These are different base characters. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah. Let's just use this one. Sure. No, thank you. So, unfortunately, what that means... is, yeah, that potentially everything I just did has kind of gone away. Now, where am I going to choose from here? Since I'm now going to be doing some salvaging, and I said I like using Air 18 because Air 18 has good selling. I think I'm still not going to choose Air 18 as my home base because the last patch... I found my home base, I was having trouble actually selling there, and I hope that's not the case. So let's do something different. Do I want to go to Lorville, Orison, or New Babbage? Now I hardly ever go to New Babbage. That does seem to be the kind of like the place to go for some people, but it's kind of far away from everything else. Maybe Lorville? I do like Lorville. Let's just go to Lorville. We're gonna go to, let's go just USA, not necessarily best. Confirm. Let's go there. Yeah, so the one thing is I don't know if I've lost everything. I don't know if I lost all my money. I don't know if I lost all my ships. I was hoping to buy the Vulture before the patch because I wasn't sure if we would lose one thing or the other with this patch. As far as I know, we shouldn't lose anything, but we will lose consumables. We will lose our food. We will lose our ammo. And possibly this is the first patch since the cargo update I believe. Maybe not. But do we lose our cargo? Do we lose the RMC and even the guns and the components that I just looted? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what we lost. Maybe this is gonna kind of end on a different note, being more just what happened. I did put out a video while this patch was downloading, just kind of talking about Citizencon coming up, some of my thoughts about that, but I did talk about them in this video. Also, talked about the referral bonus and just kind of looked over a little bit of what came out with this patch as far as showing the Zeus is there for sale again. I think it's about 170, 160, 170, depending on war bond or not. You can buy 2 for 150 each if you're getting the CL and the EL. Is it EL? ES? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Zeus is cool, but I'm not buying one because it's also expensive. Ooh, coffee. I don't have my... Oh, except for it's not full. It's not full. Okay. Can I put it back? Alright, let's put it back. Make coffee. There's a noise. Someone else's door, I guess. So, first things first. Even though it's not tea, we'll get this. I do like these habs. I mean, the Orson ones are really nice. I would choose this one over the Area 18 habs, if I'm being honest. I kind of like these habs. And the reason why is because they have a nicer view outside when you get it. I'll show what I mean. Alright, so let's put this in here. We'll drink that later. First things first. Sustenance is gone, except for that coffee I just put in there. That's why I grabbed it, because I will need something to drink later. 99%, didn't even fully fill up. Containers. I still have the SCU containers that I bought beforehand. Vehicles, nothing. So I lost the components, I believe. Utility, I should have some multi-tools. Yes. So let's grab a multi-tool. Let's grab a true hold, put on there. Weapons, I should have weapons because I looted a bunch of weapons. Yeah, so if I get a handgun at the very least, that'll give me something to walk around with. I've got a coda, take the coda, that's good. I could sell some of these for some cash later. Armor, I do have some armor here. I didn't bother putting any on. Maybe we'll just get rid of the... Ooh, did you see that? Did you see that hair? Why can't I... Watch this hair when I pull this helmet off. Poof! I love it. Yeah, what one looks cool? Let's use that one. That looks good. Alright. Looks good. I like it. Yeah! I like it. Okay. What else? Money? 74,000. That's what I had. After I spent 20 grand on a job that I think I've lost all my profit from. That's okay, we can make some money back. And, if I do ships right now, we don't have any, correct? Oh no, it shows it there. Okay, so I didn't lose the Vulture. Still the Vulture. So, didn't lose money, didn't lose the ship. The only money I potentially lost is the money I spent on the job that I just did that I didn't get to finish. This is what I talk about. I like the view from this place. I like this little area here. I like that downstairs we got like a little like commissary right there. We got like a little like pool table. I do wish CIG would make vending machines work and pool tables work. I think if they could make pool tables work, that would be cool. It would actually be kind of fun to get together with people and just, you know, play some of the games. Play some of these. These would be great. I know they have games that would work well with these because they have games that were kind of flash-based on their website for different things. There was one about management of inventory for the Orion. There was the one that's like the almost like a 1946 Midway type game. Yeah, they're pretty cool. So I think they should get those in there. Alright, let's go see what I can sell. I'm going to go to admin first, see if we can sell anything there. If not, I'm going to take the train to TDD, see if I can sell anything there. If not, like definitely things when you do your patch update and you choose your home world, everything kind of gets consolidated in one location. And so using assets, it's only going to show me Hurston right now. It's not going to show me what I have in other locations because it should all be here. It's very windy here. Almost called it Knickknacks. I kind of like Knickknacks. I think that was a better name. Alright, first things first. Ooh. You know what we should have done? I should have started at Area 18. Because I could have got some turtles. Ah well. Here we are here. Select location. Nothing to sell. Proto. Stuff like that. Okay. So, nothing there. We're going to make our way to TDD. See if we have anything to sell there. Yeah. Nothing like a naked man trying to, like, crawl under me. Alright. Very friendly people you meet on the train. It's very realistic. It's like when I'm in Toronto. Alright. On our way to the spaceport. And then TDD. Whew. I forgot how long of a ride this is. Okay, we are here. We're making our way up. I do like this location, though. I think this is a pretty cool location. I think if CIG wants to bring people into the cities and to different cities, they really have to, like, so Hurston maybe wants really good, or gives good prices for some of the gems that they're using or some of the materials they're using in weapons manufacturing, but doesn't pay much for other places, or they pay a lot for gold because they like to show off their wealth. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe Microtech needs stuff that's used for their heating equipment, so I think it'd be kind of cool. I also hopefully have, when Pyro comes out, there's going to be a change in mining so that you can only find certain things, or people really want certain things in one system or another. I think that'd be pretty cool. Alright, let's see. Is there no selection of... Okay. So, it seems like I don't have my gear. Not a big surprise. Unfortunately, that means... Not gear, my cargo. Unfortunately, that means the components I looted and the salvage, all that scraping, the panels, the arrow, and the cutter, all that's gone. I'm gonna have to do that again. Luckily, they're small ships. I'll be able to do that relatively quick. In the meantime, I'm gonna go over here. I think I still have the guns, so I at least can make a little bit of money back if I have those guns. I'm gonna try selling them. See what money I can get for them if I have those. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna look at those. This will be how we end it on a positive note. We have sell. Nothing. Thought I did. Didn't have them. That's alright. Until next time, when we try salvaging again, we do have our vulture. We're gonna make some money. Ooh, I'm just kind of lagging all over the place. We're gonna make some money, start earning. My plan with this vulture is to start making enough money to get myself another ship. I haven't decided yet what I should do. I maybe want to get something that's more for hauling and maybe combat, like a Cuddy Black. If I get one of those, then I can start offloading the vulture at a station, which would be a lot faster, and from there do the selling of the different equipment and items that I have. The other option is maybe a prospector and do some mining as well. So we'll see. Might be that, might be neither. Until then, enjoy Citizencon, have a great time, and I should be back in the verse relatively soon. Goodbye, everybody. Looks beautiful out.